Pictures by Grace Cossington Smith are rare in our world. We love to see them because every time we do, they're a real treat to have. And pictures of this scale, a painting of this size and of this quality by Grace Cossington Smith is a very rare and very exceptional event. So it gives us an opportunity to once again consider what an important and significant, historically significant artist she was. Cossington Smith emerged in the period between the First and Second World War. Now, that's a period which for many years was regarded almost as a kind of dormancy of Australian art. The Heidelberg School was the great precursor, and then of course afterwards we have the moderns with Nolan and Boyd. But in that period between the wars, art seemed to go into a kind of shell. And it's during that period that we see the emergence of a great band of women artists. When I say a band, there's just the best known artists and the best artists of that period are women. And they're not a band because most of them worked in isolation. I think of Clarice Beckett, who basically worked in complete isolation, but Cossington Smith was clearly a student and interested in the work of Paul Cézanne, the great French post-impressionist. And she became a lifelong adherent to Paul Cézanne's, not so much his work, but also his approach, his individuality and his intellectual rigor. And so this painting is really an analysis of how these objects exist in light. And at the same time, it's a very restful and domestic scene, which is in keeping with the feminine side of that era. All of the women artists of that period had a modest disposition, in contrast to the moderns that came afterwards, for example. And so this painting really embodies everything that we love about this artist. Beautiful colour, and in this case, on a particularly nice large scale, it's a really good example of probably the most important artist, in my opinion, the most important artist of her generation, of that interwar period.